Okay, so as we can see, we have the CPAP hooked up to the inverter. We've got the meter going, but what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna turn the CPAP on. I'm gonna share my screen, and that way we can see how much power this is actually pulling and roughly how long you can run a CPAP for. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you think you need a gas generator for backup power, you're already being sold the wrong solution. And if you think you need a $2,000 power station, you're being overcharged. This type of battery replaces what most people need those items for. No gas, no noise, no fumes. I'm gonna prove it. Guys, this is real backup power, not marketing, not theory, just real world emergency use. I built a quiet indoor safe power setup using a 12-volt battery and a very small inverter. Both of these items I bought off of Amazon. And at the end of this video, I'm not just gonna talk about this, but we're gonna actually plug in all the devices that the average person is going to need during a power outage, and let's see how they run, let's see if we have any issues, and let's get an estimated runtime on all of those devices. And let's see why most people never need a giant generator or a giant power station to begin with. Guys, here's the reality. A lot of people want backup power, but they can't use a generator for various reasons. Maybe they live in an HOA and they won't allow it. Maybe noise is a problem. Maybe they live in an apartment or a condo, and where are you gonna run the generator? In a living room? That leaves less solutions. So maybe a $1,000 or $2,000 power station, but that might not be an option either due to the extreme cost of those power stations. But you still want your life to be functional. You still want to have backup power for the essentials. You want to run the fridge, you want to run the lights, the modem, charge your phone, maybe watch TV. Maybe you have a medical device like a CPAP that you need to power. Those items take power. So today I'm showing the simplest, cheapest form of backup power that you can purchase to power those items and even more. This whole setup that I'm going to go over cost less than $165, and it can provide you pretty much the same power as one of those $1,000 power stations, maybe even a little bit more power, and I'll explain why. Guys, this is a 12-volt, 100 amp hour LifePo4 battery from Truvalux. I picked it up on Amazon at a price of $145. This is a no-name 400-watt power inverter that I picked up for $20 on Amazon. That's the whole system. Let me throw a graphic up on the screen real quick so we can do a quick spec teardown of this battery and why I bought it. And then most importantly, I want to go over exactly how we're going to use this today. We're going to plug in all the devices, and I'm going to show you why this may really be a suitable replacement for you, or an option for you to have backup power if you can't have a generator and you can't afford a $1,000 power station. So looking at the graphic real quick, we can see from the back of this that this has 100 amps continuous current. It has a peak current of 130 amps for about 10 seconds. That's before the BMS would cut it off. We have a max power load of 1,280 watts. As more commonly referred to, this is a 1,280 watt hour battery, and the charging voltage is 14.6 volts. This battery has Bluetooth. This battery has an app, so you don't need a shunt hooked up to this in order to monitor it or measure what's going on. You can actually pull it up very easily from your phone, and we'll do that in a little bit when we've got some loads hooked up so you can actually see the monitoring software, what it's doing. But the benefit of a battery like this is that with the LifePo4 cells, this is a very safe battery. It is not subject to thermal runaway. This is not going to blow up like a lithium-ion battery would. This is a lithium iron phosphate, which is the safest type of battery you can have for a system like this. LifePo4 cells, they're rated for on average 3,000 to 5,000 cycles before they degrade to about 80% capacity. And generally speaking, 3,000 to 5,000 watt cycles will take you out to about 10 years. So for $145, you're going to get about a 10-year lifespan on this battery before the cells have come down to about 80%. If you try that with a lead-acid battery, like a car battery, you're going to get maybe 2 to 3 years before your battery is shot, and you're never going to be able to deep discharge a lead-acid battery like you could with a LifePo4 battery, because this has built-in battery management software to protect the battery and the devices from overcurrent, undercurrent, high temperature, low temperature, and many other different scenarios. The biggest misconception that I hear from my viewers and from folks that are asking me questions about backup power is when the power goes out, it's all or nothing. And that's actually the wrong way to look at it. In my personal opinion, when the power goes out, you have to prioritize what is important for you and what is important for your family. Now look, if the hot tub is important for you, if the sauna, if the pool heater, if the dishwasher is important for you, that's fine. You just have to prioritize and plan for that. But for most people, what's really important is they want to keep that fridge running because they've got a lot of money worth of food in there and they don't want to lose the food. They don't want it to spoil. They want to keep some lights on in their home, in their apartment, because they don't want to trip over anything and become injured and then add to the problem. They want to have the Wi-Fi going because they need some form of communication. They want to charge the phone because that's a very important safety device during a power outage or an emergency. And maybe they want to use the computer, maybe they want to watch a little television, maybe make a pot of coffee or have some luxury. Those are usually the priorities. Now maybe they also have a medical device like a CPAP that they need to power, but those are priorities. Everything above that becomes a luxury. Now yes, if you live somewhere deep in Florida where the outside temperature is 120 degrees or in Arizona, air conditioning might actually be an essential item for you. Or if you live in Alaska, heat will be an essential item for you. So coming back to our original priority items, and let's test these out. What I'm going to go ahead and do right now is I have an extra modem that I haven't been using, but I want to take it and let's just plug it in and make sure that it works. Let's see that the lights come on. And as you can see right here, it does work. Everything powers right up. There is no issue. We're not really using any power at all. Let's go over to a laptop now. In fact, while the modem is plugged in, let's plug in the laptop with its charger and let's just see if that'll come online as well. Now, obviously the fridge is a really big item and that is something that I suggest everybody prioritizes because food is very important. Like most Americans, food is very expensive and I don't want to lose money on food that I've already purchased by having it spoil. So right now you can see the refrigerator is plugged in. I've also plugged in a lamp because I want to prove a point here that this inverter can do a lot, and it's a very small inverter. It's a 400 watt inverter. But as you can see, the whole fridge is being powered along with the lamp, and refrigerators don't take a lot of power. So this 400 watt inverter is more than enough for me to keep the fridge going because the fridge cycles on, it cycles off, it never uses a lot of power. Just a moment, we're going to plug some more things in, and in fact, I'm going to take out a meter because we're going to plug in a CPAP because I want to show you just how much power a CPAP actually takes, and then we can do a calculation as to how long this battery with a very cheap inverter can run a CPAP, because that's one of the #1 questions that people ask is, can it run a CPAP and for how long? And I'll tell you right now, the answer is absolutely yes, it can, and for quite a long time. But right before we do that, I just want to answer another question because a lot of folks say, who is this battery and this system not for? Well, this is not for you if you want to run your central air. This is just not going to do that. And if you want to run your electric heat, your electric stove, this is just not going to do that. But for most people, that is not needed. That's actually a waste of energy, that's a waste of money, that's a waste of a system. Most people need the essentials, the priority items, because most power outages are relatively short-lived. Now, if you live in Tornado Alley, if you live by the coast and are subjected to hurricanes and you might be without power for a week, you're going to want a larger system and or a generator. But for the average person, there is no need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on those systems when this inexpensive battery and even cheaper inverter can do the job just fine. Okay, so as we can see, we have the CPAP hooked up to the inverter. We've got the meter going, and I'm just grabbing my phone so I can see this. But what we're going to do right now is I'm going to turn the CPAP on, and bear in mind that the mask is not on somebody right now, so it's going to sense a loss of pressure and it's going to ramp up. But right now we're pulling 4.8 watts with the CPAP in standby. As I turn it on, it's going to get a little bit louder, but let's go ahead and do it. So it's turning on right now. It's sensing a loss of pressure, so it's boosting the pressure. The humidifier is actually on as well, and we can see that from the screen. And what it's telling us right now, as this meter is ramping up, we're at 54, 56, 62. So as we're doing that, let me just go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so as you can see, and we're sharing my screen here, you can see that we're pulling roughly 64 watts of power, and that is for the CPAP and for the meter and for the inverter, and with the humidifier on. And what this is telling us in the bottom right hand corner, we can run for 20 hours and 35 minutes. We can run this CPAP, which is a very, very lengthy runtime. So if there's ever any doubt in your mind as to whether or not a simple battery and inverter can run a CPAP overnight, it can actually run it for over 20 hours. There's a couple of takeaways that I think are really important, and I want to make sure that everybody understands it. if you live in a home, if you live in an apartment, no matter where your living situation is, if you need some type of backup power and cost is an issue, meaning you can't spend hundreds of dollars, because your most basic power station is going to cost you at least $400 to $500. And when I say most basic, I mean a power station that can actually power a refrigerator and items. And then if you want a generator, again, you're probably going to step into the $1,000 or many $100 range. Plus you have to figure out where you're going to store it, and you have to make sure that you have enough fuel to power that generator, and you've got to cycle that fuel every time, you know, it goes bad if you don't use it. An option like this is going to cost you roughly $165 because this battery is 145. I picked up a no-name 400 watt power or 500 watt power inverter, but you can get any inverter you want. You can get a much larger one. This battery can obviously handle that. And as we saw from all the testing, this setup, this battery and this inverter will power your fridge, your lights, a router, a computer. It will charge your phone. It will run your CPAP for or a little over 20 hours with the humidifier on. So there's just really no reason why the average person can't just get a setup like this if cost is an issue or if a generator and storage and noise are an issue. I also want to point out that this is a 1,280 watt-hour battery. Now I did a separate capacity test off camera, and I actually got just a little bit over 1,280. I got about 1,300 watt-hours. So the battery actually performed higher than its rating, which is even better. And I also want to point out that most power stations have roughly a 1,048 watt-hour battery. If you get your basic power station, this battery has almost 300 watt-hours more than that, and you're paying $145 as opposed to $500. So it's really something to factor into the equation. Again, if you're on a budget and if you still need basic backup power. I said it at the beginning, I'm going to say it again. The reason I picked up this battery, it's multifaceted. It's because it's a LifePo4 battery, so it's lithium iron phosphate. It's very safe. It's good for many cycles. The battery is actually not heavy. I would pick it up right now, but I have too many things attached to it. But the battery is roughly 20 pounds, so it's not a heavy battery at all. But even more importantly, the thing that I like, and power stations have this, and so you're going to say, well, I'm missing out on that if I get a battery. No, you're not. And that thing is the meter. So this does not need an external shunt. We've got Bluetooth, so we've got the app. And in the app, it acts as a meter. I can see the state of charge. I can see the cells balanced. And most importantly for me, I can see the runtime. So when I put all my devices on, I can pull up the app and say, okay, I've got 18 hours of runtime, and I can sleep well knowing roughly how long that battery is going to last. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to post a link to this battery in the description. I'm going to post, if you're interested, a link to this inverter. This is just a generic no-name inverter. So what I would probably suggest is if you're going to use more power, get a larger inverter. This inverter, I have alligator clamps. If I were going to make this a more permanent setup, what I would suggest is you get a heavier gauge, maybe 6-gauge wire. You get some nice crimps on it, you connect it more permanently, and you put an inline fuse on the positive side. But again, if you want to do a setup like this, you absolutely can do that. There is no harm in this, but I would put an inline fuse just for safety. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you found this helpful, please do me a favor and like and subscribe and ask any questions. I'm actually interested to know if this is a setup that you would do for your family in your home. If price was an option, if maybe you couldn't have a generator for whatever reason, is this something that would interest you? And has this video helped prove to you that you don't need a power station and you don't need a generator if those items are not options for you? Guys, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.